Going down south to the state of Karnataka, opposing the ban on bike taxis in Karnataka, women commuters told the High Court that bike taxis are a safe, convenient and affordable mode of commuting. A division bench was hearing appeals filed by bike taxi aggregators Ola, Uber and Rapido against the single judge's order. A single judge had in April ruled that unless the state government notifies, relevant guidelines cannot operate as aggregators offering bike taxi services. Women told the court that the state government banned bike taxi services without hearing women in the matter. My colleague Gautam is joining us live on the broadcast to provide us more details on that. Gautam, it's a big relief for the bike taxis over there in the state of Karnataka. What's more coming in from the court?
Yes, Sakshi. Major relief is yet to come, in a manner of speaking, for the bike taxis because the hearing that took place in the Karnataka High Court yesterday highlighted how important bike taxis are for women commuters. Now, an advocate basically appearing on behalf of a woman commuter made several arguments appealing for the government to revoke the ban on bike taxis that has been imposed basically because of lack of will to implement any sort of regularization and to implement any sort of reforms by the government. Now, during the hearing itself, the advocate representing a woman commuter said that the decision was taken without consulting women who prefer bike taxis, basically due to their affordability, last mile connectivity, and safety. And this advocate also cited several examples from other states like West Bengal, saying that bike taxis are operational, but they are restricted at night. In Rajasthan, there is a mandatory police verification, and minors are not allowed to use the bike taxis, and yet they continue to function. And in several other states as well, the bike taxi captains must pass background checks and aggregate the rules to ensure safety, but they are allowed to function. But this is not the case in Karnataka and especially in Bangalore, were the arguments that were put forth. And also another advocate appearing on behalf of Uber, he also raised some several critical points as well, saying that Tamil Nadu and Kerala have allowed bike taxis again, and the metro connectivity in Bangalore is extremely poor, leading to a lack of last mile options as well. And one important point that was put forward here, Sakshi, was that traffic congestion in Bangalore has increased by 18% since the ban was enforced on bike taxis. And bike taxis also reduce commute time while traffic eats into commuters' family time as well. So these were the arguments that were put forth, and the hearing is set to resume today as well. And it will be interesting to see if they get any form of relief here, Sakshi.
That's extremely interesting. Gautam, also just for the better perspective for our viewers, could you walk us through, the April's ruling from the single bench that came in for the state government? Could you tell us more about it?
Yes, Sakshi. So when Karnataka High Court basically enforced the ban that has been put forth by the Karnataka High Court, Karnataka government, sorry, saying basically because the Karnataka government feels that the bike taxis are basically operating under the whiteboards. Basically, they are cannot be used for public transport because they are registered as commercial use vehicles. And that is one of the primary reasons as well. And the other reason was that these bike taxis and the fares that they were levying were far cheaper than the kind of auto fares that were there as well. And the auto unions had also protested against this, and they had approached the government. And this was also taken up by the High Court back then, saying that they were causing a lot of loss to the autos and the other public transports as well. And the only solution here that has to be looked at is a sort of a political will from the government to ensure that they can regularize this process, put in reforms, put in policies that ensure these bike taxis follow the rules that are mandated by the regional transport authorities, and then they can come back to the streets. But that doesn't seem to be happening, which is why we are seeing these hearings and appeals that are being filed by women commuters and several other aggregators like Ola, Uber, and Rapido as well. So it will be interesting to see as the hearing continues today. There are several writ appeals that are set to come up, and if the state Karnataka High Court actually gives any sort of a recommendation to the government to ensure that they can bring in policies to ensure these bike taxis are back on the streets, because they are an affordable means of transport, and also given the serious concern that traffic is on the rise in Bangalore ever since this ban has come into effect, such.